Hello, friends. Your old Uncle Andy here, the UC Panda himself, coming to you on Wednesday, September 17th, with what we hope are some winning sports picks. Luckily, the sports books had all the teaser lines posted even last night, Tuesday, so I did go in, put all the bets in. The lines really should not have shifted from last night to tonight. Really, no big injury news, no big money coming in on any props, any sides, any totals. So, I'm sure some of these bets that I put in and have worked here on the slides for you may be, a couple cents different than what you may find at your book today or tomorrow. But as long as you get them in by tomorrow, Friday even, I think you should be fine, and these should be pretty much the bets available to you. Again, go back over last weekend, pretty good weekend. Over 14 units of profit. Killed it in both college and pro football, hitting about 75%. So we're doing pretty well. That's not to say we're going to keep hitting at 75%. That's almost impossible. Nobody hits 75% over the course of, a whole football season, but we'll take it while we can get it. We'll make hay while the sun shines. Keep on following us over at Uncle Andy Sports on Twitter. Keep on following me in this free plays daily contest. We're on a 2-day roll on that, hoping to keep it going. I don't necessarily put out all the plays I put on there. It's baseball centric during the week. There's no football tonight, so no football last night. So I'm much better at betting football than I am baseball, but I do string together some baseball winners every now and then, and we'll be heading into day three on that contest. Don't know if I'll ever get it back up to eight. That was probably one in a million, but we'll keep trying. The NFL card, I love it. I can't remember the last time I've loved an NFL card more than this. It's a buffet and we're going to eat. Check us for updates on Uncle Andy Twitter. A lot of the boosts and rewards and things for NFL have not really been posted by the books yet. So we've got a lot more bets coming. So go ahead and keep on following us. Another thing on that waiting, if you like an underdog this weekend, if you like an under this weekend, go ahead and wait. That's not to say wait till kickoff because usually there's some buyback by the sharps. But you don't have to put those bets in right now. I'm putting them in the Juice Reducer Parlay because the Juice Reducer Parlay, as you know, involves a lot of heavy favorites. Teams like Georgia Tech that I'm playing in there, Notre Dame, Buffalo. The closer we get to kickoff for those teams, the worse their odds are going to be, the less they're going to pay. But if you're just looking for an under straight up or an underdog straight up, you can wait. Time is on your side. Time is your friend. Because we discussed in that video maybe a couple of weeks ago by now when we were talking about Louisville when they were playing on the Friday night as a heavy favorite, and all the casual bettors were steaming the number up for Louisville. In other words, Louisville was having to give more points because as the public got involved, as recreational bettors got involved, they wanted the favorite. They always bet favorites. And so that results in the line being steamed and a team like Louisville, in the case of the video from a couple of weeks ago, having to give more points. Same thing is true on overs. The public likes overs by and large. And so if you like overs or underdogs, wait, and you're going to get a better number closer to kickoff. So like I said, don't wait till 1 minute before kickoff, but certainly Saturday night, Sunday morning for some of these NFL games, I think you're good to go ahead and wait and see what the line does. Thursday night tomorrow got a boost from DraftKings. So we're going to take Bills money line plus a Josh Allen touchdown boosted to plus 115. That's pretty good. Bengals money line, love it. Love the Bengals this weekend. I love them plus three. I like them to win the game. Go ahead and take them plus 130. Chargers, love the Chargers. Go ahead and lay the 2.5. We'll take them straight up at minus 120. These plays are probably not up yet, or at least they weren't when I made the slides. The no three times scores in an NFL game. And they probably offer it in college as well. But college is, I don't really bet it in college. But the prop, no team will have three unanswered scores in an NFL game. Those props are almost always plus money. And if you can get really lucky, if you feel really nuts and want to piece two or three of those together in a parlay around robin, something like that, and it hits, it can really pay off. So some of these games this weekend, I think the Bengals is a great example. We're betting that no team is going to score three times unanswered. So in other words, the Bengals aren't going to score three unanswered touchdowns. I think that's a good bet in a game like the Bengals and the Vikings. Backup quarterbacks going for both sides. Vikings, pretty decent defense. So the idea that we're going to string together three unanswered scores, I just don't see it. I think that's true in a few of the games. Dallas, Chicago, I think it's very applicable in that situation. maybe some of the other close games we're going to see this weekend. Now, there's always the risk of, a team kicks a cheapo field goal before the half. They get the ball back in the second half and they score. And then, punt, 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 and then there's a pick six. Something crazy happens. That's life. We'll deal with it, but it's worth the risk for that plus money payout. We'll have some player props too this weekend. I'm not usually a big prop guy, but watching the games last Sunday, I was sort of kicking myself. Well, so and so scored a touchdown. I knew that was going to happen. Can't bet them all, but we will probably get a little bit more involved with player props than we normally would. Juice Reducer Parlay. Gonna roll with it here again. A little less juicy this week. A little less juice to reduce at minus 175. We'll take the Buffalo Bills at home against Miami. I mean, come on, just money line. Just the Bills have to win. Notre Dame at home against Purdue, like a 26-point favorite. Georgia Tech at home, 24-point favorite. Vandy over a 20-point favorite. USC playing a Michigan State team. Body clock game for Michigan State. Their bodies will be telling them when the game starts that it's 11 p.m. So love that. There's been a strong steam movement towards USC in this game. I will say I think this Virginia game, and I was just on the borderline of putting this in or not putting it in, but they're at home against Stanford. I'm confident this game is going to take years off my life. If anything blows this whole thing up, it's going to be Virginia, but I do think Virginia wins. I mean, they're a 16-point favorite. Stanford's an awful outfit, so we'll go ahead and go with the Juice Reducer Parlay. And we got a lot of bets this week, so I'm going to try and roll through them. This has an implied probability of hitting of 64%. So we're going to take this minus 175 parlay and hook it up with all these teased things, starting with Iowa Rutgers under 55.5. Iowa since 2023, 12-7 to the under in conference games, 7-3 to the under in away games. So we'll go ahead and roll with the under there. 3 of the 4 last contests between Iowa and Rutgers have gone under. Go ahead and go with the Qs and Clemson, take that under. I've heard a lot of tales both ways on the side in this. I've heard people say we're going to have an angry Clemson, an angry Dabo Sweeney. I've heard people saying that Dabo and Clemson are washed and Syracuse is going to cover. I don't know, but I do like the under in this contest. Teased it up. The last 3 games in this contest have gone under. As far as unders are concerned with Clemson, they're 12-6 in conference games, keeping the score under since 2023. And they are 15-10 to the under as a favorite. So we're going to go ahead and go with the under there. North Texas, love the mean green. There's been a strong move this week. North Texas started as a minus 2.5-point underdog going to Army, and now they're a 2.5-point favorite. So if you do like North Texas, you need to get to the window with it. I probably wouldn't lay more than 3, but in this Juice Reducer Parlay, we've got them at plus 106, getting almost a touchdown. That prop is always in parentheses. These bets would normally run you $3.10. Wrote in with the Juice Reducer Parlay, and it is a plus money payout of 106. I personally think the mean green get it done along the banks of the Hudson against Army, so go ahead and roll with North Texas. Memphis. Love Memphis this weekend as well. I do think Memphis is more than live to win this ball game at home against Arkansas. Memphis at home in non-conference Memphis in non-conference games since 2023. They are 8-3 in non-conference games. Overall, they're 4-2 against the number as an underdog. So I do like Memphis. I think Memphis is live to win the game, like I said. We'll take Bowling Green and the barrel of points. Bowling Green has been very good this year against the number. Playing a Louisville team, maybe a little disinterested, probably like their third cupcake game. Louisville 0-2 against the number. Looking forward to conference play. I mean, I'm not saying Bowling Green's going to win the game. I don't think that at all. But Bowling Green, they've been a pesky outfit, and they've stayed within the number. We'll look for them to do so again. Central Florida at home against North Carolina and Belichick and his girlfriend. UCF money line all the way. I just don't see North Carolina going in there and winning. They just don't have the talent. It just seems to be it's a dumpster fire. North Carolina and their 2 cupcake games against Charlotte and whatever FCS team they played. I mean, these were not overwhelming 70-0 wins. But yeah, go Central Florida. Nebraska. We're going to take them plus the 8.5 at home against Michigan. I just think Nebraska is going to be able to withstand it. I think Michigan probably wins the game, but I think Nebraska keeps it close. Oklahoma. They won this game last year against Auburn, so we're going to go ahead and assume that they're going to do so again. Probably shouldn't assume things in sports betting, but they are a 6 point favorite. Oklahoma at home handled their business more than adequately a few weeks ago there against Michigan. I think they'll do so against Auburn. Tulane, Ole Miss. Really love Tulane. Love the over. It's going to be a 2 unit bet for us. Tulane and Ole Miss. If you look at the games they've played this year so far, they've been playing a lot of over contests, and we look for that to continue. Um, Mississippi's also had a lot of close calls here. This year, last year, Tulane. This is their Super Bowl. I think they're going to try to keep it within 3 touchdowns, and I think they do so. Tulane, I think, is a pretty good team. Probably one of the better teams in the group of six out there. Liberty, not a good year there in Liberty. They're in the mountains of Virginia. I do think the team total for them stays under 23.5. NC State, I do like the Wolfpack and the 10.5 points. I think the Wolfpack are more than live to go ahead, maybe even and win this game. Wouldn't shock me all that much, but I did like teasing them up to that key number and through it of 10. So we'll go ahead and go with NC State. Mizzou money line, like them at -104. Normally in these bets, and Boise as well, normally in these bets, we don't like to, lay extra juice because, the -102, the -104, that is a little bit of extra juice, but in this case, it's negligible. It's not like it's -125. So, and also in these bets, Boise and Mizzou both, if you look at it, we could have bet them -1.5, but the -1.5 and the money line number were almost identical. So that's 2 points I don't need to worry about. We'll just take them and win the ball game. Miami, love Miami money line. I think Miami covers also, but we'll definitely go ahead and take them money line. Illinois plus 13.5. Would have loved to have gotten it to that 14 number, but it would have taken the bet from even money plus 100 backwards into a laying more juice, and we just didn't want to do that. Illinois getting no respect. Wouldn't surprise me again if Illinois won the ball game. Illinois really not getting much respect at all. And, I like Indiana and I like their coach. And, Indiana's a neat little team. And I think Indiana probably wins, I guess. It wouldn't surprise me. I do like that coach at Illinois. And I do think they're more than live to cover the normal number of 4. But certainly 13.5, I do like that. Southern Miss, Louisiana Tech. I'm going to go ahead and tease that over. As far as overs are concerned, since 2023, Southern Miss is 16-11 to the over. They're 9-3 to the over in away games. They're 8-3 to the over as away dogs, and they're 11-6 to the over in conference play. 13-8 to the over as underdogs. So all the trends for Southern Miss are for this game to go over. UTEP, that's the University of Texas, El Paso. Love UTEP money line this weekend. I think that should come through. I think you're okay probably to go ahead and lay the 5 or 6 as well if you want to do that singly. But the point of this is just to get them to win the ball game, and I think they will. There's been a strong line movement this week by pros on UTEP. And when I say line movement, what I mean by that is these lines drop on Sunday. Your recreational bettor is not betting these games on Sunday when they come out. The professionals are doing that. So if there's a lot of money, like in this case for UTEP, that comes in on Sunday, those are professional bettors. Those are people who know what they're doing. Those are people you should probably pay attention to. And maybe not, you shouldn't follow them every single time, and you should always do your own due diligence. But the people who do this for a living, they like UTEP in this game. That should tell you something. So, and also the people that do this for a living, if they care that much, then we're not talking about Ohio State or Notre Dame or, big public teams that everybody follows and likes. If the professional gamblers are interested in UTEP enough to put money on them on a Sunday while NFL is in full bloom, I think it tells you something. So we're going to go with UTEP there. Nice price to it, plus 126. Cal just is going, I'm going to take them just first half at San Diego State. Money line, again, another example where if we took Cal the whole game, or I didn't really like teasing Cal down to, just below a touchdown, I do like Cal first half, and that just made more sense with the number we got at plus 105. Texas Tech sort of was waffling on this one a bit, and I was going to maybe do a private play and then not put it out to all of you fine people, but I thought if I'm going to do it, if it's good enough for me, it's good enough for you. Texas Tech plus 10.5, I like it. Wouldn't be surprised if Utah crushed them, but I just don't see that happening either. So we're going to go Texas Tech in the points. Not saying Texas Tech's going to win. I don't think that. I think Texas Tech keeps it close. We're going to keep the Juice Reducer Parlay going with all these NFL plays. Love the Packers laying just -2.5, less than a field goal. Love the Rams plus the 8.5 at Philly. I think Rams in a good revenge spot here. Thinking about some of these playoff losses that they've endured at the hands of Philadelphia here. So also some of the pro money I was talking about. The initial line move on this was towards the Rams. So the professionals were betting the Rams when this line dropped. So that makes me feel good. Bengals plus 10.5. Love it. Absolutely love it. Colts money line. Colts surprising team. We're going to go ahead and keep rolling with the Colts. Buccaneers. I like the Buccaneers as well. Showed me a lot of Monday night. A very gritty team. Las Vegas, Washington under. Jaden Daniels a little banged up. Really not even sure if he's going to play. So we'll go ahead and keep this game to go under. Seahawks money line. Like it. At home, we'll take it. Seahawks a great pick in Survivor this week. Anybody that's in Survivor, Seahawks are going to be my Survivor pick. Number one, they should win the game. So that's always a good thing in Survivor. So you survive to the next week. Also, looking ahead, is there really a super duper obvious, wonderful spot to take Seattle the rest of the way? Maybe a couple here and there, but I think this is probably the best spot to take Seattle, particularly in this week where, other than maybe the Packers, other than maybe the Bills, there really aren't a lot of slam dunk, oh my goodness, that's the team I'm going to take. They can't possibly lose. Unlike last week, you had a little flexibility. Week one, you had a little flexibility. This week, not all that much flexibility. So I think Seahawks, definitely the team to take in your survivor pools. Love the Chargers, love the Cowboys plus 7.5. Texans, Jags, I really feel good about this one. I'm staying under. 4 of the last 5 contests between these two have stayed under. Texans, good defense. Stroud, the quarterback for the Texans, not really showing me much. Jags, I know they scored some points last weekend against the Bengals, but how many of these points were set up off of Bengals turnovers because Jake Browning, the backup quarterback, got thrown in with no reps, no practice, no warning, just here you go, sink or swim. So I think this game stays under. Giants plus 14.5. I think they keep it close against the Chiefs. On the road, Giants probably coulda, shoulda, woulda won that game. So yeah. Lions, we're doing Lions plus 7.5. Didn't put that on there. It's also a little over plus money. That one I don't feel super duper about, but I do think the Lions keep it close. They showed me a lot last weekend. Ravens, I think Ravens win the ball game. I think there's a good middle opportunity here as well. That's all for us. Go ahead and play the video back and get all these picks in. Like I said, keep on following us over at Facebook, trying to get a little more active there now at Uncle Andy Sports Investments. Keep following us over at Twitter. Who knows, may drop another video this weekend, never know about me. We hope everybody has a good week as we look forward to another big weekend of football. If you tail us to the window, we will cash tickets together. Good night, everybody.